Did that bring some of you a sense of nostalgia? That was the Digimon Digivolution theme, Braveheart. I watched the series growing up in dubbed, but damn do the Japanese songs bring instant nostalgia and pull me back to the early 2000s. I've always loved the series, especially growing up with Adventure 01 and 02. I also really loved the Data Squad series, playing with slightly older characters. It was relatable to me since I was just starting junior high at the time. This may sound like a rant video just for the sake of it, but it's out of love for the series. I want to give some constructive criticism. If you don't want to get any spoilers of the series, I'd advise you go back to this video when you've got the chance to watch at least the 5th movie. So what has me making this video? The Digimon Adventure Tri movie series. It is a direct sequel to the original Digimon Adventure, made to celebrate the franchise's 15th anniversary. I'm writing this before the final 6th movie because I don't think there's any way of saving it. I think Digimon Tri is a failure of storytelling. I feel as though instead of following the correct steps in creating a compelling story and commemorating the brand's years of success, it seems as though Bandai is using Tri as a quick cash grab to entice older fans. This seems like a long-running plan since my last disappointment from them was the Digimon All-Star Rumble game released just over 3 years ago. I want to start with something superficial before I really get into my ranting mood. I have a major problem with how they release the movies internationally. Instead of full films, they split each film into 20-minute chunks that basically added up to an episode. It doesn't make sense to cut up what is meant to be a continuous plot of a full-length film to be chopped up into TV episodes. They even had ending themes to go with the end of each episode. The second thing I want to address is character design. I think it's very important in visual media such as animation. I'm very angry at the character designs because it seems like they didn't really try hard enough. Get it? Try? If you take a look at the original series, each character had a different design and you clearly knew the face of the character. Every character was designed carefully to make each of them unique and recognizable at a glance. For example, I'm going to show you 4 colors, and if you've seen any bit of the show, you know exactly who I'm trying to portray. You thought of Tai, didn't you? Okay, now how about this one? 4 colors, 1 character. Did you think of Mimi? So, what was the point of that little game? To point out that the character designs in Tri are awful. The first thing you'll notice when looking at all our characters from Tri is that they have this saber face problem. If you take any of the male characters, swap their hair and colors around, you easily get the other. I know a simplistic character design doesn't break anything, but why move away from the unique character designs? I can think of 2 reasons. One could be for budget restraints, or 2, they want to plant the world of Digimon more heavily into reality. If it's the former, it would further infuriate me knowing Tri was just a cash grab. At the least, take our protagonists out of their school uniforms. It's been 3 movies since we've seen them in casual wear. To introduce my thoughts on how the writing falls short, I want to touch on the characters they introduced in Tri. To reintroduce mystery for the movie series, they introduced Mei Mochizuki and her Digimon partner Meikumon. I know that character names are chosen purposely, but damn is she too easy to make fun of. Why? I think she's quite the example of a Mary Sue. Get it? Mary Sue? Mary Sue? She's introduced in the 3rd quarter of the first film. She comes off as a shy girl that isn't quite sure of herself. You'd think this would be an opportunity for a character development arc, like they have in Adventure 01. Each character had to earn their crests, but damn do I have no hope after 5 movies. I cannot say I've seen any noticeable change from 1st movie Mei and 5th movie Mei. She still has everyone around her assuring it's not her fault or, oh, friendship will solve all our problems, don't worry about it. While it's their Digimon partners that are the ones that are generally put in danger. They present her as if she has no flaws. Every time she's in danger, one of the other characters comes to save the day. If you're going to introduce a new character to follow their development, make it feel as though they've grown in some way. My main gripe with the Tri series of movies is partly rooted in how it's written and paced. What I identify with the Digimon TV series is not being afraid of addressing more serious issues, like depression and the awareness of putting others in danger. To kinda address the ongoing Mon War, I feel like Digimon has a great animated series, but Pokemon has the better games. Changed my mind. Back to the writing of Tri. How the first movie was presented seems like the marketing team knows how to capture nostalgia. A revised version of both the opening and Digivolution theme was a great way of paying homage and setting the stage for a new audience. I really love seeing their partners Digivolve once again for the first time. and a hard-to-miss reminder that the Diaboromon attack on the world did in fact happen. I want to make a minor point about fanservice. I've talked about fanservice in a previous video, and the reason why I bring this up is the Digivolutions in Tri. As a longtime fan, it's really awesome to see a modern interpretation of the Digivolution sequence that's so iconic to the series. The way they use the evolution sequences is inappropriate. It's pretty obvious that the writing and editing team was trying to pad time with the evolution sequences because it's too convenient that they all forgot about warp digivolving. Don't even get me started on the opportunities for cool split-screen evolution that they decided not to do. But instead, they opted to do every stage of each Digimon individually. Yes. Now, the idea of pacing is a joke at this point, especially surrounding anime critics here on YouTube. But it really is the pacing of Tri that ticks me off. I've said in a previous video that I'm not that great at critical analysis, but if something like this comes up and I notice it, I think it's a huge problem. It felt right that they took the first movie to capture nostalgia and then used the rest of the series to introduce a new threat, new characters, and eventually a resolution. Sounds simple, right? Unfortunately, it seems like some people missed out on the show don't tell portion of how to write. It's way too often in Tri that we have the characters sitting around just talking. So much time of still frames, panning shots, and only moving mouths. If they had condensed all the boring informational dialogue, they could have made these movies into a 3-part series or a 12-episode run with 2 story arcs. 1/3 can be used for nostalgia and a slight hint at the new threat, while the remainder of the series follows the characters in resolving the new threat and the struggles along the way, similar to the current Star Wars trilogy. The very last thing I want to talk about is the plot and continuity of Tri. In the very first movie, just before the title card and opening credits, there's a scene to reintroduce us to the Digimon Adventure universe. During that scene, we have flashes of the Digidestined from O2 falling to the ground as if defeated by something. We're able to recognize them due to their silhouettes and distinctive digivices that each of them had. As we see the final flash of their defeat with them on the ground, the camera pans up, ominous lightning strikes, and the silhouette of a Digimon appears. Although cliché, it's a very clear message to the audience there's a new threat to be dealt with. Compliments aside, what this has to do with the continuity is the 4 characters that were defeated are never mentioned again. Except for Ken, because "Harder! I've been corrupted again. I will attempt to take over the digital world, but this time with passion." Plot twist / spoiler alert. It's not Ken. It's Evil Geni, here to deceive our characters and make them forget about the O2 characters once again. And I'm not joking either. After it's revealed that it's not Ken, none of the characters show any concern for the real Ken. Throughout all 5 films so far, no one seems to mention the other 3, even though each of them has interacted with them in some way. This is especially worrisome because Takeru and Hikari were the ones that were with them the most. They faced dangerous Digimon, their partners have been infected, and had to reset the digital world, yet no concern for the O2 cast. The way they presented the 5 films had me very worried, because I thought even if the first 3 films didn't quite fit my taste, the writing or pacing was bad, the last could definitely save it. 2 films later, there's no hope salvaging or redeeming the series. I can only see 2 ways of the series ending, but I don't like either of them. Prediction 1. Imagine we have our characters put in such a pinch that it seems like there's no solution. Suddenly, a bright light and an attack coming from off-screen hits the big bad in front of them. The 4 thought to be defeated characters of O2 appear, and Daisuke cheekily says, "Hey, did you forget about us?" How horribly ironic and cringy would that be? Prediction 2. Same cornered characters, but this time, Mei finally realizes the true power of friendship. Meikumon, or whatever form she is purified and turns on the big bad she was fighting for. With either end, everyone is jolly that the Deus Ex Machina has saved the day, and the power of friendship has prevailed once again. Woo! I'll say it once, and I'll say it again. There is no way of saving the series now. Whatever comes next is all too predictable because Bandai was not that invested into the production of Tri. To what I can call is a lack of funding. The studio had to play it safe, leaving little room to push the series forward into this decade. Overall, I'm quite disappointed with Digimon Tri. I had really hoped it would be something that would rekindle my love for this series. The writing had so many things that could easily be fixed. As well, the format was wrongly chosen and used. I may be just one voice that is throwing a bad critique at these movies, but I really love this series and I want to see it succeed. I wish I didn't have to make this video, but I wanted to voice my opinion no matter how many people actually see it. With any luck, I hope to see a revised version sometime after the last film is shown in theaters. For now, I'll hold off on buying any Blu-rays. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and thought it was an interesting thought piece on the Digimon Tri movie series. I've been working on it for a while. I actually had a script for it for quite some time, but never really finished it until more recently, relatively recently. And here we are with the final video, a little later than expected because I wanted to release it just before the final movie hit. I will be watching that soon. Please do leave your feedback down below about these kind of videos. I do want to make more in the future. Check out my other videos over here on Anime Discussion, and I'll see you guys in the next one.